Do you know that?
Live.
Yes, we are live. And when we live, though, like we have a couple of things that we need to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah. Don't forget to hit record.
you know, you have to remember to hit record.
That's important.
It's very, very importante. Okay.
Muy importante.
Muy importante en la vida de la vida. Okay. Whatever that means. So, Jojo, let's do it, right?
Let's do it.
This is Kickin Streamin Podcast, a binge watcher's guide to streaming movies, TV series, and stuff. Here are your hosts, Graham and Jocelyn.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Kickin Streamin Podcast. My name is Graham, and with me today in studio is the absolutely fantastic Jojo. Hello, Jojo.
Howdy do.
Jojo.
In person, howdy do.
Jojo is in person. I think there are people who have started watching us who've never seen you in studio, right?
Yeah, probably.
It's
been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Way
So,
too long.
yo,
Yeah.
Jojo. So how does it feel to be back in studio?
Feels lovely.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of missed you, Jojo. You know, this whole like, yo, let's just do this through Melon app and StreamYard and shit. Not cool.
Yeah. It worked. I mean, it was good to have.
It kept us on the air, right?
It kept us on the air. But yeah, it's much nicer to be next to each other.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I likes it. I'm gonna say it this way. I likes it. So today, my friends, again, I have Jojo here with me, and this is not gonna be. Don't get used to seeing Jojo here. That's a fact, right?
It's hi and goodbye.
Yeah. So check this out. You told me that, right?
Yeah.
You told me that.
Yeah. And
Okay.
You did you not hit the button?
No, I did.
Push the button, Graham.
Okay. Now we're going. See, Joe, you can't be sure we don't be like that because now I forget how I do this thing. That's the
I've
thing.
interrupted the whole flow. The dog's mad at me.
Yeah.
Charlie's happy though. Charlie remembers me.
Yeah, no, Charlie's like, yeah, I know this lady, man. What y'all talking about?
Yeah, she can be belly rub. She's all right.
Right. So again, we are this week checking out everything that will be streaming. Well, some of the ones that are we excited about, right? For the month of August, we always bring you what's streaming. So that's that, right? Today is July 31st because we record the show on Saturdays. So it's July 31st. So we think, although you can find that information online at any point, but we feel like we should be bringing you this.
Yeah. And
Right.
also like online, it's like what? Like a list of, I don't know, 1,000 things.
Yeah.
And we've pared it down to like one or two per.
Yes.
thing that potentially-
I feel that your microphone might be a bit too far from you.
It's too far away.
Yeah. So let's.
We didn't want the cross chatter between the two of them.
Yeah, I think it's working, Jojo. So
Okay. That works.
It works. Otherwise, we'll fix it.
Either way.
Fix it,
otherwise-
Jesus.
Wrong wheel.
Yeah. Right. So let's get started, Jojo.
Yes.
So the first one we're going to see is from Netflix, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what do we have from Netflix, by the way?
So Netflix has a, I believe it's a series. Let me double check. Coming up, they have a lot of stuff that's going to be dropping in August.
Yeah.
But the one that we were looking at was called Clickbait, and that one looked interesting. Kind of because the whole idea about it. So it's a crime miniseries, and it's about a man who gets abducted, and it is about people trying to figure out why he was abducted and what happened, and all that stuff. But it also has the I guess the sort of twist of how your online persona can affect your real life life, if you
Your
will.
real life life. I
Real
like
life
that.
life. Yeah, your real life life. IRL. But it's an Australian co-production with Netflix.
So what are you looking forward to seeing in this show? And do you see it as a potentially successful show?
I think it could be. I mean, it's a drama, but it's also a crime drama, which those are typically pretty popular, especially with the streaming crowd. But it also has Zoe Kazan in it, or Kazan, not quite sure how she pronounces her last name, who's very, very talented, and she's written a few movies and produced a few things, and so she's going to be starring in it. And I think that anything that she's going to put her interest and her kind of like her production team behind is probably going to be something good, kind of like Reese Witherspoon in the sense of that. So and she's with Paul Dano too. They have a working relationship as well. Like they produce films together and series and things like that. So I don't think that he's involved in this one, but she is involved in this particular project, and it looks like it could be very interesting.
Zoe Kazan.
Kazan. Okay.
Okay. Well, so that's on Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah, it's going to be dropping sort of towards the end side of August, the 25th.
Let me ask you this, Jojo.
Mhm.
What, for the past month, or we're at the end of this month, what did you find on Netflix that you thought was worth the month for you?
From July?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything. I know I had to have watched something. What about you?
I actually, and I don't even know if it came out in July, but Sophie was, to me, a very good watch.
Yes, Sophie was great.
Sophie was good.
I think Sophie might have come out a little earlier than July, but as for something that dropped in July, I can't quite think of what I saw that I really enjoyed.
We talked about it last week. We talked about Heist.
Yes.
This was I think it was a record for us in terms of how much we talked about true crime.
Yeah.
That we found on TV.
Yeah.
And Heist was good, but in comparison to Sophie, and again, I don't know if it came out in July. Well, I discovered it in July, and it was because of you, of course, because I won't be looking at shows like that. I'm just being honest.
Being honest, that's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Honesty is a good thing.
I'm like, what is she talking about? But it was good, Jojo. It was good.
Of the two, I think Sophie was the superior show. Like more thoughtful, more. It didn't have a whole lot of the dramatizations. It used people from the actual little town in Ireland. So
Yeah. I like that. I discovered quite a few things during the month of July, and they weren't necessarily, things that happened to drop in July.
Mhm.
As you guys know, we are big fans of BritBox.
Yes.
And on BritBox, I found this show called Grace. And it's from the dude, what's his name? The dude from Life on Mars.
I don't know.
Yeah. I keep hearing his voice in my head, but This one is a good one. And as you know, some British series, they either have three very long episodes and that's it,
Yes.
or six slightly long episodes and that's it.
Yes.
This one, as far as I can tell, has had only two episodes so far,
Okay.
and each episode is like 90 minutes. So it's a good three hours if you watch both episodes, and a lot can happen in 3 hours.
That's very true. That's very true.
So they were like mini films, and I enjoyed watching it. So if you do have, we always recommend you should probably get BritBox, because BritBox
Yeah.
is an add-on to your Amazon account. It's about $6 or so,
Yeah.
and
It's
there's a lot there.
It's worth it, and we are not subsidized by them whatsoever to say that. So
Just so you know.
just so you know, we're not shills or anything. Oh, so okay, so John Sims was in it,
Yes.
and written by Russell Lewis, an adaptation of a bestseller by Peter James.
Yes, that's the one. So the show is called Grace, and I was very happy with it. And I went looking for the third episode because I really thought there was going to be a third episode, but so far no third episode. But it was a beautiful show. So after Netflix, of course, we have just picked, as you just heard, what we think is going to be the most exciting thing to watch.
Mhm.
So we have on Amazon what's coming up.
Modern Love, the season 2 of Modern Love,
Yes.
because that season 1 was fantastic,
Yeah.
and I don't expect any less out of season 2. I think it will be equally, if not better. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I see it's got about 8 episodes.
And who's gonna be in it?
Let's see. It's got a really interesting cast. Let's see here. With my notes. So it's going to have Minnie Driver is going to be in it. Susan Blackwell, Kit Harington, Nikki James, Tobias Menzies, Larry Owens, Anna Paquin, Isaac Powell, Ben Rappaport, Miranda Richardson, James Scully, Lulu Wilson, and lots of other folks. But I think it's going to be going to be good.
It looks like it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Let's see. Modern Love. Modern Love Season 2, the second part of Amazon's hit romance anthology series, debuted in August with another packed cast of players for these dreamy love stories. From middle schoolers to divorcees on their second shot with one another, this round of romances, based on the New York Times column, is set to melt hearts. And as you heard, Jojo gave you a list of the cast. So Sophia Conedo, Garrett Hedlund, Anna Paquin, Minnie Driver, Kit Harington, Tobias Menzies, and a bunch, man. I don't know why, but I remember last year we had a hard time deciding whether to watch this. There was this movie with Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver.
Yes.
What's this movie called again?
A Marriage Story.
A Marriage Story.
Yes.
And we refused to watch it because we felt like it was one that sort of like only highlighted the saddest parts of
life.
Of love
Of
in
love and
life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we were kind of skeptical about Modern Love because of that.
Yes.
It just turns out that Modern Love sort of like stole our hearts.
Yeah.
And we did an entire episode about Modern Love.
Yeah.
And it was dope. I'm glad we watched that show. I'm glad that we did it.
Yeah, me too.
And hopefully the second season is as good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes second seasons just don't need to happen.
That's true. That's very, very true. I would say though that I'm more hopeful about this one working out since it's not a continuation of anything. It's just, from my understanding, going to be more stories about love in modern times. Not love in the time of cholera, but love in modern times.
Love in modern times.
Yeah.
I like that, Jojo. I think you found it. You find a niche. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, sure. I'll take it.
Okay, so I think this one, just in my view, deserve an applause. This is one of the reasons why you needed to be in studio with me so I could do this thing. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Whenever it's no good, you're gonna hear this. So you better be good, Judge. I'm just saying.
Sorry, folks. There's probably going to be a lot of wahs.
No, that never happened. Man. Jojo is 100%. We've had a couple of beers, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. Yeah.
And pizza.
Pizza!
Yeah.
We have a pizza party. So Jojo, that's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, and it's coming on August the 13th.
August 13th. So let's move on to the next one, Jojo. What do we have?
So Disney Plus was next, and I kind of picked two off of this one. One of which is the Mysterious Benedict Society, which I've heard really good things about. I have watched an episode of and enjoyed it. The reason I chose it for the list for August, even though it's obviously been out for a little while, is the finale is in August. So if you want to binge it, which is personally the way I prefer to do things, if you want to binge watch it, then in August, that would be the time to do it. It is kind of a kid's show, young adult, but it's charming, it's quirky, and all of those other words along that line, but not to the point of being irritatingly twee. It's kind of fun. It's a fun little show. It's about a group of kids who are enlisted by a member of a twin, and he's using them to infiltrate his brother's school because he believes that his brother is using this school to do bad things in the world, and he wants to stop him.
So yeah. How many episodes is that on this one?
I think it's 7. I believe it's 7 episodes. I probably just made a liar of myself.
And the finale is, you said, in August.
Yes, the finale is in August. So it has been streaming for a while, but the last episode streams in August. It started in June, and since they've been releasing, a lot of folks seem to be releasing everything weekly. So it's taken them a while to get it all the way out, but it is going to be ending in August. I don't have the exact date on that one, and it is 7 episodes.
Let me ask you this: how do we feel about the whole releasing in on a weekly basis thing? Because I remember getting very mad at Prime Video for deciding to go on a weekly basis format with the second season of The Boys.
Yeah.
And I probably am mad because that's not the way the whole thing started. So,
right.
Why do it now?
Right.
And I decided, okay, so I'm going to wait for them to be done with it and I'll binge watch the show.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I haven't done that. I haven't gotten to that,
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I thought, so here's what I think happened. I was ready to binge watch The Boys when it came out. I had made a mental space in my head to binge watch this show when it came out. And they came up with this, weekly bullshit. and I was like, fuck it. Next time I'll get to it. Except that I haven't gotten to it.
Yeah.
Because I haven't made that space in my head again. I see that Apple TV Plus seems to be doing that.
Yes. Yes.
But it seems like that's all they
platforms.
do. Everything for them is weekly.
Yeah. Apple is weekly. A lot of, I think maybe almost everything on Disney Plus, if it hasn't already had a production run, they're releasing it weekly.
But that's crazy though. But with
WandaVision.
Disney, with Disney Plus, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like Disney Plus, like I actually enjoyed The Mandalorian coming out every week because it was kind of like, oh, Friday's here. It's it's a good day to a good day, but I mean, I got The Mandalorian to look forward to watching tonight. It was kind of like a routine or a ritual or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff that I'm not okay with it. Like, for example, The Boys. And Loki, I want to binge it. I didn't want to watch it every week, but I was fine with watching WandaVision every week. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, man. Ted Lasso, the second season of Ted Lasso just came out, right? And as you all know, I'm a huge fan of Ted Lasso. Like I can't get enough of Ted Lasso. The problem is Ted Lasso only lasts about 29 minutes and couple of seconds. When you watch a little sitcom format show on, I don't know, network television, and you have a couple of commercials and whatever, it feels a little bit longer. And perhaps by the time it ends, you think, okay, well, I think I can take the next episode next week. When you're watching a show like, where there's no commercial, and it's only 29 minutes, it feels exactly like you've been watching it for 15 minutes.
It does. It really does. It feels like you've watched a YouTube video.
Exactly.
Like
exactly. Yeah. It feels like you've watched a YouTube video.
The same gravitas as a YouTube video.
Yeah. And so now I'm mad because I went to watch the first, and then they released the first 2 episodes of the new season. And so now I'm like, okay, I have to wait Friday for the next episode, and chances are I have shit to do on Fridays,
right? And
I'm not going to be able to get to it. And next thing you know, I've missed 2 weeks, and next thing you know, I've missed a couple of weeks,
right?
3, 4, 5 weeks, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
but it's weird that I only have that problem if it's not a Disney Plus show.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about Disney Plus is that even WandaVision, which was about 30 minutes, felt like it was a movie.
It did feel like it very, very much did. I agree.
So you've had enough excitement to say, yeah, let's wait for the next week.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, next week's gonna be so good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I felt the same way about WandaVision and about The Mandalorian. Like, I can't wait for next week and what's gonna happen next week and that kind of thing. Like, it was cool, but some shows I just don't think it works for it. I don't know if it's the format or the storytelling style or whatever. But
yeah, maybe it's the format. Maybe, like you said, the storytelling, because when you watch WandaVision, when you watch Loki, when you watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, there's so much of the story, so much little nuggets of the entire life of the story that you get on one episode. And then you get to the next episode, you get to connect the dots. Or the next 3 episodes later, you're connecting the dots to what was said on episode 1. It's just too much.
Right.
When a show doesn't have that kind of narrative, it feels like, why am I waiting for this?
Right.
Especially when you can wait for the shit to go on Netflix and binge watch the whole thing.
Yes.
Yes. So I don't know. There are a lot of shows in July that we talked about, but then kind of missed. For me, the one show that I haven't gotten to it's actually a documentary by Questlove. It's called Summer of Soul. And I've heard so much good things about it. So much good things. And I'm so proud and so happy that Questlove took this step into filmmaking. And it's just a bang. I mean, this guy is absolutely multi-talented. And I can't wait to watch it. It's just that I haven't gotten to it.
Yeah.
Why do you think when you spend perhaps months anticipating something as good like that, and then it comes to it's here, the same thing happened to me with Black Widow. It took me at least a week to get to watching it.
Yeah.
So why do you think that happens, Jojo? Why?
I don't know. I don't know if it's something to do with like the human psyche that is like, what if it's crap? And I'd rather it. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather just have the anticipation and this little nugget of happiness from that, because what if this thing I've been looking forward to is terrible? So I'm gonna put it off until.
You know what, man? You kind of understand shit on a different level. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah. It's like maybe. Oh man, what am I gonna do if it's shit, right?
Yeah, then my little nugget of happiness, which is like the only thing I've had for the past month, it's gone, and that's terrible. So I need to be in a better place emotionally. So if it is crap, I can just be like, oh, that's fine, because I've got something else to look forward
to. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. All right, so let's move on to what's on Hulu.
On Hulu, so I'm looking forward to this. And
hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You said 2 for Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, yes.
Right.
So the other one is so this one is a true release, is Cruella, and it's I know it's been out, but this is a release, so you don't have to pay extra or have the upgraded whatever to get it. So it's the movie Cruella. I think it's the August 25th, I believe, is the date it releases. But I kind of have a soft spot for Emma, and I always liked the story of the 101 Dalmatians, and I know that this really isn't that story, but I'd like to see it. I'd like to see the movie.
One of the critiques that I think people have made about this movie is that it just seems like it's the female version of the Joker. Is that true?
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But I guess it could. I don't know.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know that the story itself belongs to the Joker. Like the way things went down for the Joker belongs only to the Joker, right? Because everybody, every character has a way of spiraling downward, and to a certain extent, it is triggered by dramatic events in tragic events in their lives, right?
Very true.
So why does that?
Why does it only belong to him?
Exactly. Like it's kind of stupid, but Twitter is stupid, Twitter is fucking stupid. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I don't know why it would have to only belong to the Joker, but and with Disney too, that the production on it is going to be fabulous. So like the costumes are going to be fabulous, and the sets are going to be fabulous, and the effects are going to be fabulous. So, I mean, there's going to be some level of enjoyment to be had from the movie. Even if you have to turn off some parts of your brain, there's going to be some part of you that is going to be like, oh, that looks amazing, or that sounds amazing.
I don't know why I'm looking forward to watching it, but I am.
Yeah.
But we have gotten used to things from Disney. There's nothing they've done so far after Disney Plus came out. There's nothing they've done so far that I can say, I'm a bit tentative with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And it's not because it's not necessarily because my expectations were not fulfilled. That's not true. I just, I have trouble with, for the entirety of the story, the bromance was between, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, Bucky, right? It's about the character of Sebastian Stan, and I feel like, now the bromance is kind of like a new adaptation of that with the Falcon, who sort of like turned into Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I believe it.
Yeah. I can.
That would be like, it's almost the same thing as I know how our listeners would feel if you started hosting this podcast with somebody else, or I started hosting this podcast with somebody else.
No, it's like, Bucky and Captain America, they had history and they had a special friendship and they had a relationship. And I don't know that what is it, lightning strikes twice in the same place, or
exactly
that kind of thing. I don't know that is easily replicated. Or
feels,
should be.
It feels forced.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that, the character of the Falcon or Black Captain America he would go to bat really hard for the Winter Soldier and vice versa.
Right.
And so I like where the story is going in terms of the development of the superhumans and the whole thing. That is very interesting. I still don't know if I have an issue with a chemistry that's not there.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we're talking about that, but it was for me to say that I've not been disappointed with anything created by Disney Plus, but I have this little problem with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Other than that, everything else is marvelous. Shall we move on to Hulu?
Let's move on to Hulu. So Hulu is Reservation Dogs, which I've been looking forward to since I first heard about it a while ago. It is a comedy series by the very, very, very talented Mr. Taika Waititi. And it is the story of 4 indigenous teenagers in rural Oklahoma who steal, rob, and save in order to get to the exotic, mysterious, and faraway land of California.
I am looking forward. I'm looking forward to this because it's Taika Waititi.
He is so talented and so funny, but so funny in such a way that makes you think.
Yeah.
And having him handle the story of indigenous people is perfect.
Exactly.
And I can't wait to see this.
It's great because his ethnicity has a huge variation, yet the one he chooses to represent to live by is that of an indigenous. He's from is he Australian or New Zealander?
New Zealand.
New Zealand,
yeah,
right?
New Zealand.
And he's native New Zealander, Jewish, German, and something else, And for all intents and purposes, if you saw him, that's a white guy. But he identifies as indigenous, and he speaks up for indigenous people, and he's created this series that is going to bring a bit more representation to Native Americans in that respect, isn't it?
Yeah, and I love the name Reservation Dogs, but I mean that's just perfect, and I love the idea of indigenous people having representation and having good representation and having a show about that lifestyle, that culture, that everything. I'm super excited about it, and I can't think of anybody better to do it, and bring such heart to the humor. Have you seen Jojo Rabbit, by the way?
No, I haven't.
You need to see Jojo Rabbit.
I haven't.
You really, really do. If anybody out there hasn't seen Jojo Rabbit, I highly recommend it. Or if you have seen it and you liked it or you didn't like it, leave a comment or something like that. But yeah, it's
Here's a crazy thing, though. I don't even know why I haven't watched it. I don't. There's no excuse. There's no reason why I haven't watched it. I mean, I know all the Oscar nominations and the whole thing. And for some reason, I haven't.
Yeah.
So that might be what to watch tonight.
It's so good.
Yes.
It's so good.
And Taika Waititi, of course, as Hitler.
It's perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
The scene of him eating a unicorn head worth the price of admission alone. Hitler. Adolf Hitler eating a unicorn head. Who was vegetarian, but he'd make an exception for a unicorn.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Speaking of, tyrants,
Yes.
let's talk about things that we discovered like just by flipping on the streaming networks. I was one Saturday night that I didn't have much to do, much to watch. There was no Olympics or anything like that. I had enough soccer for the day. I went looking for something to watch, and I discovered this little documentary series or docu-series, whatever. I don't like saying docu-series. It's a
documentary. So
yeah,
like I don't know, all these portmanteau words.
I hate them.
Yeah.
It's like the same. Whenever I, you discover new podcasters and they'll be like, my podcast is about mompreneurship. What the hell is a mompreneur?
What is a mom?
A mompreneur, like a mom who is an entrepreneur. Mompreneurship, like fuck off.
I would okay.
You know what I mean? Like so to me, docu-series is almost like mompreneur. Like there's no such fucking thing. It's a documentary that is not necessarily a film, but rather a series.
It's cut into pieces.
Exactly, it's called Into Pieces. So I found this documentary series produced and narrated by no one else but Peter Dinklage.
Really?
And it is called How to Be a Tyrant, I believe it is. And it is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, where is it? What is it on?
On Netflix. And here's the craziest thing. They're only half-hour episodes.
Okay.
But it goes so into details. It almost, imagine if you got yourself 5 or 6 TED Talks.
Okay.
About what you need to do to be a tyrant, to become a tyrant. And the whole idea is that there is nothing special about tyrants, that they weren't born a certain way, is that you or I or anybody can become a tyrant, because it's all about power and how you manage to seize power. Like the whole idea of thinking that there was something in their brain of,
right.
Of Mobutu Sese Seko or Stalin, of like, it's nothing. There was no alteration to anyone's personality. Anybody can be a fucking tyrant. And it gives you all of these details in the steps that they take. And it almost sounds like there's this author who, in the beginning of the Trump era, wrote a small little pocket type of book called On Tyranny.
Okay.
And there's like a bunch of steps, like he explains to you how somebody becomes a tyrant and what the population can do to stop it, to resist. Okay. Right? And it is something similar to that, but in the documentary style. They have a relation, but it's not the same thing. So that was my discovery, and I loved it. I have taken it upon myself I've been asked I've been asked to be the one to make the recommendations on the Facebook group of the Tucker Brothers. They have this thing called a Tune In Tuesday.
Okay.
So I have to find something that I can recommend for every Tuesday, and it was one of my recommendations. I hope people watched, but yeah, that was one of my surprises of the month of July.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah. Right then. So Reservation Dogs is gonna be on Hulu in the month of August. Do we know when?
Let's see. I had it called up.
Réservation de Dogs. C'est ça là, hein?
Looks like it starts on August the 9th. That's the premiere. Yeah.
On my
August
birthday. Yeah. So August 9th, my
August 9th.
birthday. So the entire weekend I'm going to be kind of drunk. So just so y'all know. Yeah. I have reasons to be drunk. So. All right. This is going good. I don't know. Is it going good?
I think it's going good.
Jojo.
It's gonna be back in house.
Jojo is ever so hopeful. She says, I think it's going.
I think it's going good.
All right.
You know.
Now we move on to
No, it's going like crap, Graham. Total shit. And I'm walking out.
Lord, why?
Taking my bottle of water and going home.
She's like,
It's your bottle of water, but I'm taking it anyway.
Yeah, I'm taking the water though. You're one of those people like they storm off the restaurant, but they come back and take a piece of bread.
Take the bread. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So HBO Max is next, isn't it, George?
HBO Max is next. And so I just had to pick the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. I heard that people were freaking out because Will Smith is not on it. What happened there?
I don't know what happened there. I don't know. There was a lot of recasting.
Yeah.
There, but I also think I also picked it because it's only been like a couple of years since the reboot or whatever happened, and we're getting another reboot.
Dang.
So I think that's funny. James Gunn is at the helm. The cast is like Taika Waititi is in it as well, and
they only left what's her name, Margot Robbie. She's the only one I recognize.
Everybody else got recast.
Idris Elba,
that's exciting that he's going to be in it, and then who's going to be in it? John Cena, however you say his name.
Yeah, that dude.
He's going to be in it. Yeah. So like. I don't know. It looks bonkers to me, but like bonkers in a good way, as opposed to the other one was bonkers, but it was shit.
Yeah.
This one looks like it could actually be fun. But yeah, I think they only kept Margot Robbie.
Yeah. I'm like, who is this? Who's that? What is John Cena doing there? Oh, Idris Elba too? Is he the new Will Smith? Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't even know like if Will Smith's character. Like, I almost feel like his character was removed.
Right, because he's supposed to be the dude that's like a straight shooter or whatever, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they just completely removed his character and replaced it with Idris Elba's.
So, should we expect this to be good? Or are we just going to be equally disappointed?
I don't know if it's going to be good, but I think it's going to be fun. I'll be disappointed if it's not fun. If it's good, that's a bonus.
Yeah, but like I think every time we talk about Suicide Squad, you should expect it to be fun.
Yeah,
because they're breaking shit, they're killing people, and they're all nuts.
Yeah,
you know. So,
but the original, well, not original one, but the latest one to me wasn't fun. It was just crap. Like I didn't have any fun during it. I'm sorry.
Was that which one was it that? There was like a weird cameo of that dude as the Joker.
Jared Leto.
Yeah. And he was doing this weird ass fucking laugh.
So most of his part, from what I understand, got cut.
Really?
And then part of the reason was because of the way he treated his coworkers on set, because he was mailing them like dead rats and bodily fluid covered things, and like stuff that would get you fired from a quote unquote regular job. Should get you fired. Like some stuff I think was like the kind of thing that you should be in a facility for.
Wow.
So all of that controversy like came out before the movie came out, and it kind of made me not want to see it. And then when I did see it, I was like, this is crap. So
why do you have to be so direct, man? It's just like, yeah, this is shit. Yeah, you made me pay for that.
Yep, right, exactly. Yeah, I bought a ticket for that.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. If it's not fun, then you give me my money back.
Okay. It's a deal.
I'm like, nigga, you watched it on HBO Max. What the fuck? What am I saying?
I'll give you your subscription fee for.
Yeah.
Divide up all of the shows that are on HBO in August
Okay.
by your subscription fee for the month, and if it's crap, I'll pay you that for the movie.
That would be like 15 cents.
I could give it to you now if you like.
I wouldn't know what to do with 15 cents. That's so much money.
Oh God.
It could be like a third of a wrapper, 15 cents. This is way too much math for me. So
It's way too much math for me too.
Let's move on, man.
Moving right along.
So Jojo, we are now on Apple TV.
Apple TV, yes.
Plus.
And so this is a show that there's been some buzz about. And it looks like it could be good. If it's not good, it's going to be very disappointing. It is called Mr. Corman.
Mr. Corman.
Mr. Corman, which is kind of a bland name, but it's a comedy drama. It was created by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and has a very interesting cast. Deborah Winger's in it. Juno Temple is in it. Shannon Woodward is in it, and it is about a fifth grade teacher who struggles with anxiety, loneliness. He forfeited his dreams of a music career, and he has the sinking suspicion that he just sucks as a person. And I think that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is talented, not just as an actor, but as a writer and as a producer and all of those other things. So I think that this is something that he could. This is a topic I think that he could handle and make very funny, but also very poignant as well. So that's coming to Apple TV, and it's going to be. It starts. Let's see here, August the 6th.
Mr. Corman, I think it must have been pushed back a bit, innit?
I think it was, yes.
Because I remember in one of our What's Coming things,
I think
we talked about it.
We discussed it, yeah.
And it was either coming out in June or July.
I think it was June.
Yeah. So it must have gotten pushed back, but we have been expecting it.
Yes. I don't know why it was pushed back.
Yeah.
But
it's definitely going to be a good show. And as you said, if it's not very good, then it's going to be hugely disappointing. And
they're actually dropping 3 episodes on the day it premieres, on August 6th. So they're doing a little differently than they normally do. Then they're going to dropping it weekly. But the first week they're going to drop 3 shows.
Okay. I can deal with that, and hopefully it's a good 50 minutes or so, and then we'll see. But I like that. This is a show that I'm looking forward to, and I'm glad that it's gonna be 3 episodes, because sometimes even when they drop 1 or 2 episodes, it doesn't tell you enough for you to want to continue watching.
True.
Or to anticipate what's coming. So
true.
So I'm hoping that this one is a good one.
I hope so too. I have high hopes for it, but it would be very disappointing if it's not.
Yeah. We're gonna take a quick pause here because my clock is going
singing.
crazy.
It's singing.
Okay. Yay. And we're back.
And we're back. The clock just finished its little manifesto.
Yes, the clock is done.
Did it watch How to Be a Tyrant?
Did what?
The clock. Did the
Yeah.
clock watch How to Be? I watched it with you. So.
Yeah, the clock is actually this house tyrant. Yeah,
And it has been for as long as we've been recording the show.
Here's the crazy thing though. One time I got away with silencing it for a good year. And my wife didn't realize that. And one day she was like, "Hey, what happened to the clock?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. Sometimes it sings, sometimes it doesn't, you know."
Must be on the fritz.
And it's like, "Can you take the ladder and check it?" Oh, shit. So, yeah. But I got away with it for a year, for a good year. So,
Yeah. But it wasn't while we were doing the podcast.
no, it wasn't. It was a little before that. That's the problem.
There's the rub.
All right. So we're moving along and we are coming to the very last one.
Yes.
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 On a scale of 1 to 5,
Okay.
what place does Peacock has as a streaming platform?
I've
6.
Yeah, I think so. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's really, I don't have it, and I've only ever, I mean, there are some things on there I would like to watch, but I've only heard about how clunky it is from you and from others, and it's just like, is that even worth paying for extra frustration?
Yeah, a lot of these things, I promise you that a lot of these things I have because they are either part of a bundle or something.
Gotta love the bundle.
You know, but otherwise I
Those are
wouldn't, you know.
Yeah.
And Peacock is on that category. They're trying, the poor things. They are.
Bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts.
They are trying, but the problem is I don't know, man. I'm struggling, you know. But you have to have them now because some of the Olympics and stuff they do. I have a mad flickering behind you there, Jojo. Let me see if I can fix this. You know, we're live and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, we're having a rave going on behind you.
Hold on.
And I didn't get invited. Or sorry.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's doing it on its own. Yeah.
It is.
There we go. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Wow. That's insane, man. Now Jojo look like a saint. It's got this huge aura and shit.
Oh, holy me.
Yeah, holy.
Why aren't I Saint Jojo of something or the other?
Yeah, Saint Jojo of Maryland.
Patron saint. What am I the patron saint of? I forgot.
Patron saint of what is Maryland famous for? Crabs or whatever?
Crabs, yeah. Crab.
No, that's no good though. Let's forget about this one. We have to come up with something else, man. Let's
Yeah.
What's the Maryland's flower or whatever? Like,
Black-eyed Susans.
damn, man, it keeps getting worse. And it's weird that you even know that one. So yeah,
The state bird is the Oriole.
the what now?
The Oriole.
The Oriole. Okay.
Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, that's okay. So then you are patron saint of the Orioles.
Okay.
Let's keep it at that.
The ball team or the bird?
We can't get together, folks. Like seriously. Yeah, you probably like us better when we over the net, man, because this is bunkers right here, man. She said the bird. The bowl team of the bird.
I need specifics in my life. I mean,
No, you ain't getting any.
that's okay. I'd rather be the patron saint of a bird than a ball team anyway. So. I mean, like there's going to be way too many requests if I'm the patron saint of a ball team. There's going to be way too much like stuff coming into my inbox and people praying to me and all that crap.
Yeah.
So, like, no. For the bird, it's fine. The bird.
You send Jojo.
Please let them win in the whatever theirs.
I've been in a slump. I can't hit the ball for a long time. I keep getting struck out. Strike out.
Yeah, see, I would be terrible at it because I know nothing about baseball. So then there's that. I would just be like,
I grant you whatever you want.
Whatever the hell you want. It's fine. It's
this dude is hitting home runs out of foul balls and shit.
Too much. That's too much. I'm sorry. I don't.
Now they think I'm on steroids and shit. Can we tone it down? Hey, man. No, like I say, you probably don't even like us when we're in the same studio because this is wrong. Right, Jojo?
Yes.
Let's pick up. So what we have on Peacock?
Peacock. Let's see. And it's a bird, too.
It's
relevant. Nice segue. It's Heart to Heart, the talk show with Kevin Hart.
Heart to Heart with Kevin Hart.
Heart to Heart with Kevin Hart. And it's HART to HEART.
Right.
Just
specifics. Kevin Hart just came out of having a very well accoladed movie on Netflix called Fatherhood, I believe.
Yes.
A lot of people giving him a lot of props and praises and stuff. I haven't gotten to watch that one.
I haven't either.
But I will, and I'll have my say on that. I'll know what to say about that. But yeah, there's that. Then as a comedian, I must say, Kevin Hart to me is like Tiffany Haddish. There's some shit that they do that I find funny, but I can only take about 10 minutes of them. So I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can watch an entire talk show with Kevin Hart.
That's that's entirely why I'm fascinated with the idea of this. Because I feel like Kevin Hart is someone that you either love entirely or you can only take 10 minutes of, or you despise him completely his comedy style.
Yeah.
And I don't know how his comedy style is going to translate into a talk show like that. I'm very, very fascinated by how this is going to be structured. And is it going to be like a sit down, like a David Letterman style show?
Yeah.
What he has going on.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be something more like Ellen has going on? I'm completely fascinated by this idea because to me, Kevin Hart is not your typical idea of a talk show host.
That is right. That is right.
So I really want to see how this goes.
But a lot of people have had talk shows that you wouldn't think are, talk show material, and they're still around. And you're like, who watches this show?
True.
I know that a lot of people are going to watch Kevin Hart. And here's the crazy thing. I anticipate that Kevin Hart could well be one of the funniest interviewers.
See, that's what I'm thinking too. And I'm really hoping that it's going to be in the style of David Letterman's most recent show. And my next guest needs no introduction. I'm really hoping that it's going to be something like that because I feel like he could be a fabulous interviewer.
Yes. Except that the Letterman, because his experience started first as a broadcaster, and then he transitioned into comedy.
Yes,
he's got the it.
Yes.
For interviewing. This guy can do some of the most poignant interviews, like an opera style sort of shit, and never throw a laugh line there for no reason.
Yes,
and you're like, I can't believe that was Letterman,
Because he started as a journalist, so he learned to listen to what the person was saying to him as they were saying it instead of thinking of his next reply while they're talking.
Exactly. What's my next punchline?
Right. Well, how am I going to fit a joke into this kind of thing or whatever? So, and I know, I don't believe Kevin Hart has a background of journalism. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know his background, but so I feel like it could go either way. Like it could go very well, or it could end horribly, and the interviewee would not get a chance to get a word in edgewise.
Yeah. So this is something that we have to watch. Like I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, because I want to know. I want to know what this is. I'm just fascinated by the idea of it.
But I also feel like there's this thing about in podcast has done is certainly culpable of that a little bit, in that everybody now is an interviewer, and a lot of people confuse having a conversation with interviewing.
Yes.
And because I see it like, again, I'm on a bunch of Facebook groups of podcasters, and I see a lot of people like, yeah, I have an interview with so and so and so and so, and I want, I've written down some stuff and blah blah blah, and a lot of people come like, no, just be relaxed, be yourself, and I'm like, that's not how you conduct an interview.
No, it isn't.
Like
it isn't.
What if I don't have anything to talk about with this person, but I want to interview them?
Yeah.
Right. So sorry. An interview has to be that you've got something you want to know about this person.
Yes, it has to have a structure.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Otherwise, it's a conversation.
Yeah.
In a conversation, you will feel always in the obligation of having a reply or a rebuttal. And that's what happens with a lot of people, that they're interviewing you and you said, because, my grandmother used to make this kind of remedy, and oh my God, my grandmother used to do this too. One time I was coming home from school and then they tell you a personal story. I'm like,
yes,
that's not an interview.
No, it's not. No, because it's, if you're interviewing someone, you're supposed to, I would think that you're interviewing them because they have an area of expertise that you want to hear more about. Or, they're somebody famous, or they've had some sort of an experience that's newsworthy or talk about worthy.
Yeah.
And that's not something that you have to have some kind of an outline that you follow. Even if you go off outline or off topic a little bit, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you have to have something, you have to guide the interview.
Exactly.
And you can't turn it into being about you unless what you're sharing is absolutely totally 100% relevant to what's going on. Like, hey, I was on the plane with you that was going down that you managed to save and land on the Hudson River or whatever.
Right.
We have that in common. That would be something you could bring up in an interview.
Yeah.
But if you weren't on the plane, I was on a plane once too.
Yeah.
And everything went fine.
But again, I think that's where Letterman becomes this fabulous interviewer, because one of the criticism, even as a late night show host, that a lot of people had of him is the fact that late night men made it seem always like the Hollywood stars that they were interviewing were the best friends, best buddies and shit. And Letterman always established sort of like a bit of a distance between him and the people he was interviewing. Like, I don't know you. They just told me that I have to interview you. Then let's do this interview and fuck off. Like, we're not. Right. Letterman is so distant, and then when he was funny, it almost felt like he was making fun of the person, because it didn't look like he had that kind of a rapport with the person. But that's not the way it is. So, can a comedian be a great interviewer, or can a great interviewer who is a comedian do a great interview? I suppose that's the question with the heart to heart, talk show with Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
Yeah.
Right then, so we've called it today. I'm going to talk about another show. This is not a discovery because I had already watched season one of that show. It is a show from Belgium originally, and it is called Undercover. And I believe it was either late 2019 or early 2020. I watched this show. The show is originally in Flemish or Dutch, if you want to be a bit more specific. But it is also dubbed in English, and it is a fabulous show. It's great material, great actors, great storylines, and the second season is as great as the first season. And I binge watched the second season entirely in a matter of 6 hours. The great thing about it is that also one of the main characters in the show got his own movie. And if you are flipping through Netflix and you see a movie called Ferry, about this mafia drug dealer guy, Ferry is the bad guy in the series, in season 1 of the series Undercover.
Okay.
And then I guess they just decided to make a movie for Ferry. Ferry Bowman is the name of the guy. Like, he's the biggest distributor of ecstasy in Europe.
Okay.
And he's a Dutchman living in Belgium.
Okay.
And so the undercover cops that the show is about, they went undercover just so they could infiltrate Ferry's organization, and everything else happens here. So it's a great show, and I had a lot of fun watching it. And the second season is as great. So again, it's not a discovery in July, but rather the second season came out in July, and I watched it. So you can binge watch both season 1, season 2, and then go on and watch Ferry, and you'll understand a bit more of that.
That's on Netflix.
On Netflix, yes. Any discoveries for you, Jojo?
I have watched very little because of what I've been doing. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Not all of us are moving.
So yeah, I haven't really watched much.
So here's what we're going to do then. We are going to call it a day on this episode. If you found something, here's the crazy thing. We keep saying this. If you find something that you would like us to discuss, you can certainly email us or send us a voice clip. If you go to kickingandstreamingpodcast.com, on our page, if you hit the little microphone, you can send us a voice clip. We're not going to play unless you tell us to do so. We're not going to play it on the podcast unless, again, you tell us to do so. But we will listen to it. And if you'd like us to discuss any show that you've discovered and you find interesting enough, do that. Give us some recommendations, because sometimes we're struggling. Sometimes we're struggling.
Sometimes, life happens, and it's like, I'm out of ideas.
It's Thursday or Friday, and we still haven't found anything, and we have recording on Saturday. So there's that.
Yeah.
But again, I am mad happy. I don't know what to do with myself with the fact that Jojo is in studio with me today. So it's been a lot of fun. And I'm gonna go ahead and have another beer with Jojo. So for now, we are going to call it a day, right, Jojo?
Yes.
So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Kickin Streamin Podcast. If you found value in our content, please subscribe and share. We would also be delighted to hear what you think of this podcast. So please rate us by writing a quick review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on all major social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. Join the conversation happening today on our Facebook group.